Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion plays the Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus, where you cannot dissuade me from an Eden run. I love my son Eden. What is this? Oh, it's the mark. I thought it was Karma. VZFC 8AHD. 8AH8. Sorry, brain's kind of broken. Okay, I'm watching... Oh, that's amazing. Do you think this will take my bone heart? That's for science. I had to check. The next one probably will. The stats on this run are out of control already. This is a very Canadian out. I don't have, most of the time, I don't have a Canadian accent too much. I un-Canadianed my accent, and that's not a joke. Unconsciously, basically by consuming too much American media. It's like if somebody watches the BBC, or, well, really any British shows that much, they start to say, like, in it, or oi. I'm not trying to say that's what all British people sound like. I'm just saying, you know, there's some unique Britishisms North American audience picks up if they watch shows like that. I don't want to say too much, but if they watch a lot of shows like that, it can happen. Excuse me, I'd like to make my bone heart a little bit filled up if possible. Oh my god, that was close. That's what happened to me. But sometimes it sneaks out. I don't know, I guess I've been watching too much hockey lately. Don't speak to me. Alright. This run, you don't need me to tell you, I'm sure, but it's starting off real strong-like. Yes. Okay, now the bone heart has some protection. So what I want to see is if leprosy gets triggered by... It totally does get triggered by blood rights. So, dude, this is amazing. I mean, the damage output by itself is really, really, really good. I mean, combined with the mark, obviously we got a great thing going here. Leprosy, it's a mild synergy, but it's something. Health up. I'm drowsy. Relax. It's alright. Trapped in a prison of my own creation. And addicted. Irrelevant. So the health up was... It's as good as getting a health upgrade. Minus the fact that the heart is not filled yet. But what I want out of this run, and it's abundant... I'm sure, if you're watching, abundantly clear at least. If I can get a way to replenish my red hearts on the regular, that is passive, i.e. a trinket, we're going to, or I guess placenta or old bandage to some extent. We're gonna oh my god, varicose veins is gonna pop off here as well with blood rights. We got everything we need going on here. Let me explain it for you. If you can't follow for yourself, you're having a little bit of trouble, maybe you're listening more passively. Every time we use blood rights, we're going to get an orbital, admittedly only temporarily, but for longer than you might expect. I mean, we still have our one from the last boss fight, and it's been like a minute and also almost the whole floor. We're also going to have Tammy's head pop every single time. Now... we don't have the HP base to sustain this right now. And we might not for a long time. Because, you know, this deal with the devil, it might mill a little bit of our HP away. Or it might be terrible. Or we might just decide to not take these deals because the deal with the angel instead allows us to maintain a certain level of HP that can keep this synergy going. We'll see. I know that seems like the best option just from the way I phrased it. I don't necessarily buy it. Raw stats are more important probably most of the time than just cool synergies, but I mean there's definitely a lot to like from this run all the way, or already I should say. And not even just the fact that we've got above average speed, great rate of fire, and really good damage early on. You know, we got a genuinely unique sort of pseudo synergy here. The only thing that would make me really excited to get rid of blood rights is to get Dull Razor, which has all the same positives except for no room damage, but carries like literally no negatives except for a charge. So I'm gonna controversially, perhaps, I'm gonna go to our shop, but controversially, I'm not going to take Guppy's Hairball or Void. Void is a very, very fun item, but I think we got something to look forward to here. I hope. So, Bomb here seems very sensible. Every bit of HP helps out. And then we're looking for Dull Razor, potentially. Barring Dull Razor. I will get Blue Map. I don't actually think it's worth much. but it also didn't cost much. So it seems like a match made in heaven. Yeah, this is cool. We're not quite there yet, but I mean, 5 rate of fire and 5.73 damage is really great to begin with. Nah. We could open it by using blood rights, but it seems like kind of a waste. We should accept we're not going to be able to use blood rights on every single room. So don't just pop it immediately here and be like, give me red hearts. Let's save it for rooms that are actually difficult, instead of thinking that it's going to help us out on every single room. Like this room, kind of annoying. Very happy to use it. Let me get another orbital as well. Leprosy. Still popping here with our second orbital. I really doubt we're going to be able to make something like super consistent happen. We just lost one to begin with, but even just the occasional block shot. I mean, every single time, I guess by definition, the only way that leprosy loses an orbital for us is by taking damage. So every, well, not necessarily, I mean, we could have like, it could have hit the orbital, but it might have grazed us, but still, you know what I mean. We should think about the fact that like every time we lose a leprosy orbital, that's HP that's been saved. Oh, I hate it. Thank you. So we'll toss a bomb down. We're really, Spirit Art's very nice, of course. We're looking for Small Rock, though, because we have enough, really. Like, this run is just, it's popping off right off the bat. And I know there's gonna be people out there, see, you know, you've insulted blood rights, and then all of a sudden it's coming through in the clutch for you. Let's be honest, okay? I have been wrong before in evaluations of cards, no question about it. And by cards, I mean that I've been playing too much Slay the Spire, and I mean items. But if it's any consolation, in Slay the Spire, I oftentimes call cards and relics items instead of calling them cards or relics. Basically, the brain is just broken down to the core. It's rotten. Either way. However, in order for blood rights to be good, we had to start with it, / get it for free, and then also get a bunch of items, like, basically immediately. Ooh, Sack of Sacks. That just popped off and made it tick. And I mean, we did it, and I'm very thankful for it. But it's not like, you know, it's become Brimstone level just by itself. It required a pretty special circumstance. Now, I'm willing to reopen the case file and evaluate this item, you know, in a way that's nicer for it. But for now, let's just, you know, focus on the fact that the run's going real well. I don't really want to use blood rights here. I'd rather not. I don't think we need to. Even though the Fallen's potentially a bit of a pain in the butt. Our damage stat is just so good. And I didn't even talk about it, but dude, Little Monstro... Ugh. Little Monstro, by default, is really nice as well. Now, at this point, again... we're losing HP to make it happen. But in my heart of hearts, I don't live in a planet where I can't do this. Do I stand by it? No, I don't stand by it, and that's part of the reason. That's Book of Sin. I mean, I could take the nail, and it's probably more sensible to take the nail. You know what? Take the nail. You've used blood rights, and I'm not trying to insult the item by throwing it away. It's really just like, now sure, we could get a bunch of HP that maybe makes it worthwhile, but we're better off with the nail now. We built a run that's more nail-worthy. Yeah, just accept, you know, you took a chance on getting some items. If I see 5 hearts worth of question marks and I don't take them, I find it hard to live with myself. It's just the kind of person I am, okay? And I think we got some cool stuff, not necessarily great stuff right off the bat, but now we'll be on the lookout for Dull Razor. Nail's also fine, of course, but if we get Dull Razor, we get all the impacts of the strategies that we had before, with none of the negatives, as mentioned. Are we likely to get it? No, that's okay, though. In the end, you know, raw stats still win out most of the time. I'm happy to admit, I may have mentioned this. For those of you following the saga of Ryan's Java assignment, it's over. It's kind of comical to me. I'm so self-conscious about the quality of this assignment. The quality of my output is not good, but given the scope of the assignment, I thought I did a pretty good job just getting it working. It's like when you write an essay and you're like, I mean, it hits the page limit, but, you know, not all of my points are cogent. It's like that. It's at that level, which is fine. But I had a dream last night that I failed the class. You know, people have dreams about, even as an adult, a lot of adults have dreams about messing up in school. I do all the time. A very common one is, hey, it's the final exam. And then I go, what do you mean it's the final exam? I didn't show up for any classes. And they go, yep, the one class you showed up for, turns out it's the final. Or alternatively, another one that's really bad is you go to class and then your dream classmate goes, how'd you find the midterm? And then you go, what midterm? And they go, yeah, you know, the midterm, the one that we did last class. And you go, you know, you get the idea. I just dreamed last night that I failed the class. And of course the teacher was like, only one person failed the class and it's you. And I'm like, the assignment is really hard. And he's like, none of your other classmates had any problems with it. Anyway, you would think that the #1 stress in my life would be my job. And it is most of the time. But over the past week, that assignment was so bad, it led to me watching Pacific Rim Uprising 1.5 times. Because it happened to be on the Crave TV movie channel preview. Anyway, that's a Canadian thing. Canadian Netflix is not called Crave TV, but Crave TV is a Netflix analog here. We have Netflix, just like the rest of the civilized world, too. Speaking of which, you know, might be a couple of people out there that are interested but don't know. The new season of Mystery Science Theater 3000 now available on Netflix. I was disappointed to find, and I haven't seen anybody else talk about it. Maybe this is ignorant of me. I love Mystery Science Theater 3000. Here's the thing. I understand Joel's history with the show. A lot of great episodes with Joel, no question about it. I'm still a little bit more of a Team Mike sort of guy. But maybe that's unbecoming of a nearly 30-year-old man to, you know, play favorites like that. But anyway, you know, I thought Jonah in the last season did an admirable job. I got no complaints. I thought that season was stronger than most people gave it credit for, but it's a matter of opinion. Boot up the new season, Mystery Science Theater 3000. Great movie choices. Actually, some movies that people might be familiar with, like, for example, Mac and Me. Or alternatively, Pacific Rim not Pacific Rim Uprising, but close. Atlantic Rim, a relatively recent movie that's a B-movie, you know, asylum ripoff of Pacific Rim. I thought that's cool that it's not just like, you know, nearly royalty-free stuff or like Japan kaiju movies from 1975 that weren't good enough to make it to theaters. However, 6 episodes? Really? I'm not mad. It's 6 new episodes of Mystery Science Theater 3000. I can't believe it's not Butterbean. Haha. But, I mean, the last season was 10 or 12 episodes. This one's 6. It's not a great sign. Unless, I mean, I haven't watched the episodes yet. I just fell asleep like immediately upon putting one on last night. But maybe buying the rights to Mac and Me was a little bit more expensive than buying the rights to I Accuse My Parents. I don't know. Maybe yes, maybe no. I was like, what item are we gonna get? Boy, I hope it's a good one. I don't know. I just, you know, nobody was 100% convinced that there was even gonna be a new season of Mystery Science Theater 3000. I don't necessarily, I mean, we're in an era of, I don't want to say contraction for Netflix, but it used to be like, for like, did I really get hit 3 times on that room? It used to be like every year for a couple of years. Yeah, it's fine. There were like 8 new Netflix originals. And then people were like, this new Netflix original is kind of bad. And they were like, we don't care. We have so much money right now. Just, we're making them, okay? We're making them forever. Now we've started to see a little bit of a contraction. Netflix originals ending, being canceled. You get the idea. Not a great shop for us, all things considered. So I do worry that maybe Mystery Science Theater 3000, you know, I would love for it to be long for this world, but I think potentially there's a chance that it's a bit of an albatross, maybe. Doesn't, I mean, at its core, it doesn't seem that expensive to make, considering... I don't want to besmirch the amount of effort that goes into that show, but like 110 minutes of its 120-minute runtime is 3 dudes talking over somebody else's movie. So I don't know how much they pay for rights. Presumably, I had thought it was none for some of the stuff. I'm willing to attempt this. Not all of it, of course. And of course, they have a team of writers and, you know, sets. But I'm assuming those get reused after season 1. Patton, Oswald, and Felicia Day, you know, couple of days of filming to get all their stuff for the season. I can't imagine that's incredibly expensive, but I don't know. Again, I just don't know. I mean, Patton Oswalt was in Ratatouille. Maybe, you know, the guild won't let him take less than $1 million an hour for being in the greatest animated film of all time. I honestly don't know. Get out of jail free gives you Mega Satan access. That's cool news. Anyway, I'm wary of my position as a pseudo-public figure. I've been evangelizing Hitman 2, but I will stop short, and I promise it does tie together. I've been evangelizing Hitman 2, but I will always stop short of being like, you should buy this. I don't know what your financial situation is like, okay? Obviously. Love this play. Plus Mega Mush, or Magic Mush, sorry. But anyway, if you are interested in Hitman 2 and you got the disposable income, you should buy it. It's extremely good. It might be my game of the year. Still a little early. Dank Devs 2. We could do boss rush here. But I'm wary, you know, people are like, we gotta organize. I go to the Hitman 2 subreddit, and you will very rarely, and I know that I've pivoted off the Mystery Science Theater 3000 thing, but anyway, what I was going to say is, I don't want to be the guy who's like, make sure you watch Mystery Science Theater 3000, because if it goes away, it's your fault. No, I don't want to do that. You should watch whatever you want to watch, but if you like MST3K and you didn't know the new season is out, it's out. Maybe there's enough of us to keep that series alive for a bit, I hope. Or maybe it's doing amazingly, and I'm totally off base. Anyway, you know, in an era, and I think if you don't pay attention to stuff like this, you're doing yourself a disservice. People always believe that modern gaming is like as bad as it's ever been. Oh, the microtransactions and the blah blahs and the mobile games and the blah blahs, and you get the ideas. Hitman 2 is beloved by the Hitman community. Now, I don't necessarily agree with them that Absolution was that bad, but that also came out like 6 years ago. So, well, yeah, 6 years ago. It was 2012 for sure. I got fond memories of playing that game in a converted garage that served as a basement suite where Cade and I lived together when I first moved to Vancouver in November 2012. Anyway, we did see our item room. Dude, let's do it. This run's popping. So rarely do you see a situation, I think, where a franchise has been around for like literally 20 years, and the newest one that came out, people are immediately like, this is the best game that this company has ever made. I'm not going to say overwhelmingly people are saying it's the best Hitman ever made, but it seems to be the consensus at least. I think we can get away with Miter. I'm looking for items I've not seen. And I know Book of the Dead is cool, but I have seen it, and we're doing a great damage, but we're not like bleh, destroying every room. So that being said, I'm not coming over the top, because in the end, like, I would love for IO to continue to make more Hitman games, but I'm not gonna like put that at the feet of gamers. Like, in the end, there's a certain, like, I don't know. It's a prickly subject in the modern era. But, you know, if the market won't allow for Hitman, like, I think they've done okay on their marketing. The game is getting incredible scores. It's got positive reviews. If the populace looks at it and yawns or says, you know, that looks good, but I just spent, you know, my income for the month, or my disposable income at least on Red Dead Redemption 2, and I'm going to play that for 100 hours. Maybe I'll pick up Hitman 2 when it comes out on sale for 20 bucks in 6 months. So be it. You know, it's the realities of the modern gaming market, I think, to some extent. I mean, there's been a lot of amazing stuff that's come out recently, and I'm well beyond the point of being like, if this game fails, it's the populace's faults. But if you guys don't buy that game and they never make another one, I will never forgive you. I kid. I hope it works out for them, though, and I hope it works out for MST3K. MST3K is like the greatest, like, secondary viewing, and I hesitate to even mention that. I do find it hard to sit down on the couch by myself and watch 2 hours of these guys making fun of movies. But having it on a second monitor while you do something else, ideal. Also means the episodes get stretched a little further. You can put them on a couple of times, maybe. So I hope that it works out for... Maybe it's working out amazingly and I'm just a fool. I don't know. I just don't know the answer. It's great fall asleep viewing as well. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to sell you on a different video series that you should watch instead of mine. I'm just saying, you know... I can't use my own videos to fall asleep. Thank you very much. That would be... I mean, I would be a narcissist at that point. And I might have an ego. I might be a little smug. But I am not a narcissist. I'm in no danger of falling in love with my own reflection. Or the sound of my own voice. The only thing I fall in love with is the sound of the police. Coming to save the day. A luck upgrade. I will take both of these. It's aggressive, but I think it will do wonders for our DPS. Wait, we lost a little damage, and then we immediately got it back. More than enough back. Plus, oh, actually, you know what? That was a weird play. It did work out. We got a damage bonus, but we didn't get a rate of fire increase. So we would have done a lot better to just take Steven. Instead of taking Steven in conjunction with Skinny Odd Mushroom. Skinny Odd Mushroom exclusively was a negative. Now, it's a negative we compensated for, but still. I want to raise Deal with the Devil chance. Works for me. Oh! I don't think he should inherit my shot speed, okay? My movements, sure. My shot speed, why not just make him inherit my tier effects, too? Don't give him ideas. Okay, forget I said that. We're scrubbing that one from the void. It lives. This is going to be a quick one, dude. I did not expect that. Although, once I saw that we started with the mark, it just goes to show you. You know, it's like your y equals mx plus b having a high b. You know, that graph, even if the slope is not as high as it might be on some other graphs, it's starting from a higher location. I'm going to assume that blowing up that judgment worked for us here. We're going to head up. We will fight Mega Satan, assuming we are not looking horrible in advance of the Mega Satan fight from an HP-related context. I'm cheesed, dude. Did I tell you my math class filled up? So I had to send a very pleading email to the faculty. Well, not the faculty, but like the dean, and be like, please let me take the class you guys forced me to take in order to get my degree, but simultaneously only offer like 10 slots for per semester, even though there's like 500 people in the program. Please let me give you $600. Anyway, I'm not complaining about that so much. That's cheap education by North American standards, but... Well, I live in Europe and the government pays me to go to school. Yeah, but, you know, you pay for that in your taxes. Well, actually, our effective tax rate is Not that much higher, only a few percentage points than most places in North America. And in fact, provinces with high taxes, or states with high state taxes such as California, oftentimes end up paying more than us. Wait a minute. What are you talking about? That certainly can't be viably fact-checked and validated in order to make my self-esteem fall to a low level and shake my faith in the power structures that have enabled our Western society. Okay, anyway, I don't know where I'm going. I pretended to have an opinion temporarily there. It's dangerous. I'll crack it. Maybe a bad idea because we have a decent luck stat. Could have gotten some chests on the next floor, but realistically, we're probably going to fight Mega Satan like straight away. Assuming I haven't screwed it up and forgotten what Get Out of Jail Free card does. I think at this point, if I forget what Get Out of Jail Free card is, I need to just mod that card out of the game, because I don't deserve it. I've proven that I've taken it for granted, and I just, you know... If you don't appreciate it, don't it always seem to go? You don't know what you got till it's gone. So we're not going to use the nail here. It's a selfish maneuver. Whoops. It's a maneuver, though. Oh, I didn't even see that. Hello. Good morning. It's a maneuver I did in order to make sure we have the nail good to go. If we die against Mega Satan, by the way, it's not all... wow, this is just embarrassing. Even more embarrassing, actually. It's not all bad, because we come back as Dark Judas. And in fact, at this point... it actually seems like maybe, because of my idiocy, we should just come back as Dark Judas to begin with, and then use the nail. So we have double damage. We lose, like, 1 HP in the process, technically. It's a weird one. I mean, these are extremely good. Guardian Angel. Well, they're not extremely good. Let's not go crazy, but... I think what I'm going to do is... I think I'm going to end our non-Dark Judas existence here. I'm sorry, Boneheart. We did want to take camo undies anyway. It's not like that was a mistake. But I'm just going to do this before we use our nail. That's not that big of a deal, because we're going to fight Mega Satan pretty soon. So we'll die, come back as Dark Judas, 24 damage, pop the nail. And then I'm going to mill about for a little bit here, hoping to get, and the only reason I'm doing more rooms is because we have we have Humbling Bundle now. So if we, never mind, I got it confused with Contract from Below. So now we should keep doing rooms just to get the nail charged up. Then we should leave and go fight Mega Satan. And with 4 HP, I think there's a real chance. We're going to have like 26 damage. Definitely wanted to kill Lust last there, but oh well. We just can't afford to get hit by dumb things. And I should have taken my own advice on the Cathedral, but hey, who doesn't get hit 6 times with 15 damage on the Isaac fight in today's day and age for no reason? Alright, can we do it with 4 HP? Realistically, I think yes. Probably don't take X-Lax, because it provides no benefit whatsoever. Alright, 26 damage. It's an awful lot. And if we screw this one up, summer vacation's over. We gotta get back to training. We've been having some nice runs. And it's been a lot of fun. But when you start throwing away that kind of HP, you better secure that victory, or you should be embarrassed a little. So far, so good. Really wish little Delirium wasn't Shade right now, but... oh, there you go. Nope, still Shade. My mistake. But don't tunnel vision on that. Who cares? Now it's little Chubbed. Not great, but a little bit of a bigger benefit. I'm the only idiot on planet Earth that would look at this run and go like, well, what's little Shade doing right now? You got 26 damage. Relax. The answer is it doesn't matter what it's doing right now. All we gotta do, and I think we're in a real good spot for it, is not take damage before the second phase. And then I honestly think if you look at the optics of the run, mathematically it's going to be tough for us to take 3 hits before we kill him. Yeah. I think we're good. We should be good. I mean, it's an incredible run. Hello, Ruka. You may have noticed you cannot jump up on the computer as a result of the fact that my HOTAS is directly in front of it. You can't jump over the joystick. I would not dare you to. Ruka, don't do it. I see in your eyes. The last few days have been a constant struggle for me to... Cat jumps up on the desk, give him a little butt tap, throw the cat off the desk. He jumps up on the desk, they never learn. Isn't that right, buddy? Ruka! He's got curious eyes. Anyway, thanks for... Get down. Thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. And follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Northernlion, to be notified when I go live in the future. For now, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. See ya!